Hello, Dr. Kemp here, Hammond Doc. Sometimes you simply want to check the fast and slow motors in your Leslie tone cabinet. So in this video, I'm going to show you a very simple method for evaluating or testing your fast motor and your slow motor in the upper portion of your Leslie tone cabinet. And what this will allow you to do is to see if those motors are working or running as they should. And what you're going to be watching for and listening for, you're going to be watching to see that the upper rotor turns when the fast motor is engaged. Does the rotor turn fast? And then when that is removed or disengaged and you employ the slow motor, does the rotor turn at the slow speed that you need it to turn at? And then you're going to be also listening for any noise that might result from your testing, because you should have quiet motors. All right. Noise in the top motor or bottom motor may indicate the need to have the motors disassembled and cleaned and properly oiled. Or it could only mean that your motors need to have some maintenance done on them. It could mean that it only needs to be oiled and not necessarily disassembled. But some level, if it's making noise, then it indicates that some level of maintenance or possible repair or rebuild needs to take place. If your motor does not turn, if the fast motor doesn't turn, then once we do this procedure, something is wrong with that fast motor. If the bottom motor doesn't turn, either something is wrong with the bottom part of the top motor. That's what I'm talking about, the slow motor. Then something is wrong with that slow motor, or it could be something wrong with one of the mechanisms in the slow motor, that is, for example, the spring, or the slow motor needs to be readjusted, that is, the screws. My son Arrington did a video on how to adjust the screws, so you can take a look at that. But let's go ahead and let me show you the method by which you can simply test your fast motor and your slow motor while it is in the Leslie cabinet. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a drop cord. Now, I have the camera here on the rotor so that you can see it spin. And if I put my hand in here, you can see that. You can see it there. But I have a drop cord here connected to power. And I'm reaching here, and I'll show you on the camera here. So I have here the cord to the fast motor in my hand. I'm simply going to plug that in, and you see what we get. Okay. So even in this one, I'm getting a little wobbling here, so I'm going to have to do an adjustment to this rotor here. Because it's making more noise than it should, but this motor is running quietly. The motor is running quietly. The noise that I hear here is coming from up in here, so I'll deal with that. But the motor is fine. Now, I'm going to disconnect this, and I'm going to plug in the slow motor. Light came loose there. Okay. Okay. So now you can see the rotor is turning slow. And all I did was I just used a drop cord. Now what this tells us is that, and that's very quiet. So what this tells us is that both of these motors here, both the fast motor and the slow motor in the top half of this Leslie is working. Both of them are working as they should. Okay, that's what that little illustration lets us know. And as I stated, by my doing this, I was able to hear some noise coming from the rotor area that I'll do some investigation about. Possibly that rotor I need to put some oil in that and quieten that down. And but the motors, which is what we're checking out on this Leslie, sound wonderful. They're working as they should. And this Leslie is going to be ready to be put into use very shortly, very soon. All right. Okay, until the next video, this is Dr. Kemp Hammond Doc saying to you, have a very peaceful evening. Goodbye.